Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the children's book Hugh and the Manatee, and let me tell you, it has a surprisingly powerful message about empathy that honestly is for all of us, no matter our age. So, here's how we're going to walk through this. We're going to meet our main character, Hugh, see the conflict he faces, meet his, let's say, unusual mentor, dive into the lesson, and then see how it all leads to this incredible transformation. Okay, so first things first, let's meet our hero, Hugh. Right off the bat, we get this amazing picture of Hugh. This kid is he's bursting with life and is totally, completely comfortable with who he is. He's not just a character, he's really a celebration of individuality, from his awesome unicorn shirt right down to his joyful kitchen dance parties. And this quote from his mother, this is the bedrock of his confidence. She gives him this incredible foundation of love and acceptance, making it clear that his uniqueness isn't just okay, it's spectacular. She calls him her bright spark, and that shapes his whole world. But of course, that wonderful, accepting world he has at home, it runs headfirst into the harsh judgment of his peers. And that brings us to the central conflict of the story. And this slide just lays it all out, doesn't it? It's a total clash of worlds. On one side, you've got Hugh's authentic, colorful, joyful life, and on the other, you have these cruel, simplistic labels that the bullies, Lolly and Cindy, throw at him. It's such a stark contrast. And I really want to emphasize, this isn't some new thing. He's been dealing with this for 6 long years. Basically, his entire school life, ever since kindergarten. It's this constant, painful background noise whenever he's not in the safety of his own home. So right when the bullying hits its peak at the local swimming hole, something happens. A real catalyst for change shows up. And let me tell you, it's probably the last thing you would ever expect. And here it is, our mentor figure. And no, it's not a person. It's this enormous, mystical, pink manatee. The creature is just this amazing mix of gentle and powerful, and its sheer presence is enough to stop the bullies dead in their tracks. Now, what's so cool here is how the manatee handles things. There's no scolding, no lecturing, nope. Instead, it creates this totally immersive experience. It hums this melody, creates these soundproof rainbow bubbles, and pulls the kids out of their world and into its own, for a very important lesson. And this underwater journey, this becomes the classroom. This is the heart of the story, where the real magic, the real learning happens. You know, the manatee's technique here is just brilliant. It uses the undeniable, amazing diversity of nature to just systematically dismantle the bullies' rigid stereotypes about gender. Every single example, from male seahorses giving birth to fish that change gender, it just directly challenges their black and white view of the world. And here's the crucial part. The Manatee doesn't just leave it as a cool nature documentary. It explicitly connects it all back to the human world. This isn't just a science lesson. It's a deep, profound statement about acceptance and diversity in all its forms. Okay, so a magical underwater lesson is one thing. But does it actually stick back on dry land in the real world? Well, the story immediately puts that to the test, the very next day at school. And the answer is a huge, resounding yes. When another bully, Connor, starts in on Hugh, who steps in? Lolly and Cindy, his former tormentors. But look at how they do it. They don't just fight fire with fire. They form a barricade. They use the manatee's logic. And Lolly even corrects Cindy for stooping to personal attacks. It shows this deep, real, internalized change. I mean, this line right here says it all. Lolly's transformation is totally complete. She's gone from bully to advocate, and not just for Hugh, but for the principle of a safe space for everyone, even the new bully. It's just a powerful, incredible shift. Now you're probably thinking, whoa, that change happened really, really fast. And you're right. Hugh is thinking the exact same thing, which is why he goes back to the springs to ask the one question that's on all of our minds. How? How did that happen so quickly? And this is where the story explains the how. The manatee pulls back the curtain on the magic. It wasn't a spell or a trick. It was something called the frequency of love, that unique sound in the bubbles that allowed the lessons to sink in without any judgment or shame. And that really brings us to the core message of the whole story, the big takeaway. It's this beautiful idea that huge, meaningful change isn't just possible. It's what happens when a lesson is delivered through love instead of criticism. So the story leaves us with this final question to chew on. It basically asks us, what if this magical-sounding frequency of love is really just another name for empathy, for creating a space where people can learn and grow without fear? It brilliantly connects the fantasy of the story to a very real, very powerful tool we all have. What a thought to end on.